Moving on to our next topic number 8 of the night, a legend passing. And we covered a few legends on our last show passing, and we're going to cover another one in John Chaney, legend of college basketball, legend at Temple University, and just what a great coach, what a great guy. Sad to see him go. What do you got to say on that, Pat?
Yeah, I mean, certainly a longtime staple in college basketball. He passed away at 89, so lived a full life. I'm sure he has no regrets about his life at all. I didn't like him at first because I'm from Massachusetts, and in the early to mid 90s, I was loving the refuse to lose UMass Minutemen with Marcus Camby, Carmelo Travieso, Edgar Padilla, Monroe. John Calipari was the head coach, and him and Chaney got in a couple of squabbles, shall we say, after a couple of heated A-10 battles with Temple taking on UMass. I actually saw a tweet from earlier today, or it might have been yesterday, of Calipari. Later on, probably even recently, the two of them kind of reenacted like a choke with one another. They actually became friends a few years after their incident during a press conference at the end of a UMass Temple game. So good to see those guys had reunited afterwards and actually got closer. Because I don't think Chaney's the first guy that's wanted to strangle John Calipari. But Chaney was a staple in college basketball. I believe it was 29 seasons at Temple. They either made the NCAA tournament or the NIT every season that Chaney was there, except for his very first season when he had to turn things around. And he also won the A-10 tournament, I think, 6 times. The A-10 champs, that gives you an automatic bid, obviously, to the NCAA tournament as well. Well over 500 wins at Temple. He also had some Division II college wins. So he's up there with some of the greats. He's in the Basketball Hall of Fame and the College Basketball Hall of Fame. So just another one of those all-time greats.
That fight, or that I should say, it didn't really turn into a fight, but that moment with John Calipari, I had to watch that over this week like 6 or 7 times because it was just so funny to me. That was back then, and I call it like the prime years of basketball, right, where it wasn't so soft per se. I think basketball has turned into a soft, especially in the NBA and in NCAA. It's turned a little soft. But even the coaches, right? I mean, you don't see a moment like that in sports anymore, right? I mean, he threatened. He literally said, "I will kill you." Okay, as he was going after Calipari in that press conference.
He only got suspended 1 game.
Yeah. That's crazy. Like you said, if you do that now, people will call for you to be dispatched permanently instead of just being suspended for 1 game. So I think it shows how much things have changed over the time, But I like that. I mean, that was the fire that made you want to play for that man, right? And it goes underneath the same category as a Bob Knight. When Bob Knight would get fired up, that's what kind of made them the legends that they are, is obviously the era that they coached in. And how it was allowed, and it was honestly, it flourished. Basketball flourished underneath that. But then all the wins, and then just like I said, he put Temple University on the map. He put Temple University on the map, and I don't think anybody's ever been able to really do that the way he has. And hey, if you're an Owls fan, you might not like hearing this, but I don't think Temple University is ever going to be as good again. And because I don't think you're going to ever have a coach that's good again. And I don't think you'll ever see a Temple University team in any sport that's going to be as good as those teams that John Chaney had during the 80s and during the 90s. And I think, like I said, one of the greatest coaches of all time, definitely deserves to be in the Hall of Fame. Like I said, put Temple on the map. Players wanted to go to Temple University because of this guy. A lot of people should be thanking him, especially Temple University should really be thanking this guy for getting them that exposure, for getting them their players, for having all those glory years of being in the limelight of college basketball. But you have to put them up there with the greats of Krzyzewski and Bob Knight and Jim Boeheim and some of the greatest coaches of all time in college basketball. John Chaney's up there with them.
No question. And it's a smaller program. It's not a blue blood. So, you're looking at, the recruiting base is probably a little smaller. Temple's a great school, so you can't just kind of pick whoever you want either. So Chaney did a great job, and he's certainly going to be missed in college basketball. So certainly a tough day for the Temple community, but certainly lived a great life, 89 years old, and a lot of wins on the college basketball court.